In this video, I'm going to show you how to play two must-know blues rhythm guitar riffs, so stay tuned. Hey there, this is James and welcome to James Shipway Guitar and welcome to my blues rhythm guitar video lesson. Now today I'm going to show you two great blues rhythm guitar riffs that you can add into your rhythm guitar trick bag just to give you something different to play as well as chords. Now all the tab and lesson notes and everything from this lesson are in my blues guitar bundle. Now you can get that by clicking the link underneath this video and I'll email you a copy. It's got tab and everything for this lesson and loads of my other YouTube blues guitar lessons, so check that out. I'm sure you'll find it will help you. We'll talk later on about when you would use these riffs I'm going to show you, but I just want to dive straight in and show you the first example. So let's check that out now. Okay, so that's what it sounds like. Let's have a look at the basic riff and I'm going to show you how to play it on a G chord to start with. So we're going to start down on the low E string at the 3rd fret and I'm going to pick that note twice. Then I'm going to go up to the D string at the 5th fret and I'm going to pick that note twice. Then I'm going to go to the 3rd fret on the D string and pick that note twice. And finally to the A string at the 5th fret and I'm going to pick that note twice as well. So we've got this. The reason this would work on a G chord is because the first note that I'm playing in the riff is a G note here at the 3rd fret. You can almost imagine it would go with, say, a G bar chord at the 3rd fret there. Now the great thing about this riff is it is movable. So when we play a 12-bar blues in G, which we're going to do in a moment using these riffs, we're also going to need to play a riff over a C7 chord and a D7 chord. And the good news is it's really easy to move this so it'll work on a C and a D chord. And all we've got to do is move everything across a string. So I'm going to go to the A string at the 3rd fret. That's now a C note. And if I play the same lick there, it will work on a C chord. So I'm going to play the 3rd fret on the A string, 5th fret on the G string now, 3rd fret on the G string, and the 5th fret on the D string. So you can see the fingering and the sort of shape and pattern of the riff is exactly the same. Now when we go to the D chord in our blues in G, we're going to move it up 2 frets on the A string to the 5th fret and play exactly what we played over the C chord, but as I say, just up 2 frets, and that will work on the D chord. So if you know a 12-bar blues in G, then you can easily play these riffs over the chords. Let me show you how we do that. So the version of the 12-bar blues that we're going to play is 4 bars on a G7 chord at the start. So we would play our riff 4 times like this. That's 1 bar of G. 2nd bar. So that's 4 bars of G7 at the start. Now the next thing we do in the 12-bar blues in G is we play a C7 chord for 2 bars. So we would play our C riff twice, because once through the riff lasts for a bar. So we'd do it twice to make it up to 2 bars. So that would sound like this. Now the next thing we do in the 12-bar blues in G is we go back to our G7 chord for 2 bars. So that's the G riff again, played twice. Next thing we do is we play a D7 chord for one bar and then go back to our C7 chord for a bar. So we're going to play the D riff once and then the C riff once, like this. And then to finish it off, we're going to go back to our G7 chord for 2 bars at the end. Now the chord sheet and the chart for the 12-bar blues in G is in the Blues Guitar Bundle, so that'll help you there, but that's one particular version of a 12-bar blues in G. Now you will see variations on that, but they'll all be pretty similar. There'll just be a few little things that are maybe slightly different, but that's a pretty standard way to play a 12-bar blues in G, so it's a really good place to start. Let's hear what that sounds like when we play our 3 riffs over the 12-bar blues in G backing track. So that's 4 on G, 2 on C, and 2 on G. Up to D, down to C, and twice on G. Now these riffs are really useful when you don't want to play chords but you've got to play a 12-bar blues. Let's say you were playing in a band and there was another guitarist or a piano player playing chords. If you start playing big fat sort of chunky chords as well, this kind of thing, it might just be too much. It could be too overpowering. A lot of muddy, big sort of muddy bassy chords in the song could clutter it up and just sort of spoil it. So these are quite lean and unintrusive and they'll just sit in the mix quite nicely, but they won't take over the whole song. So they're really useful, and it's just cool to have another option, you know. In certain blues tunes, these might be just what's needed to make the tune really work. So useful things to know. Now that one I just showed you is kind of basic. I want to show you another one which is slightly more interesting, and it's very similar to the first one, but it's just, like I said, it's just got a bit more colour to it. So let's check that one out. First of all, I'll play it round for you over the backing track. Okay, so same sort of thing. You can see I'm moving it around just like I did with the others, but it's just a little bit more interesting maybe to listen to. So sometimes this might work a bit better than the first one. Let's have a look at how we're going to play that. Now it starts on the E string at the 3rd fret when we're playing it over the G chord. We're going to hit that note twice. Then we're going to go to the 5th fret on the D string and pick that, and then go down to the 3rd fret on the D string. So we get this. New notes. I'm just giving that a little bit of a blues curl, a little bit of a bluesy sort of bend there. So we got. The next thing we're going to do is play the 5th fret on the D string again and pull off to our first finger, which is down on the 3rd fret on the D. And then we're going to play the A string at the 5th fret. So we get this. Just like with the other riff, when we go to the C chord, we move it across a string and play exactly the same thing, whereas every note is moved across a string. So it's 3 on the A string, 5 to 3 on the G, 5 pulling off to 3 on the G string, and then the D string at the 5th fret. When we go to the D chord, we move it up 2 frets from there and we play this. So you can see how similar they are to the first one, but they just got a little bit more colour. Let's have one more listen to it played over the entire chord sequence. Okay, now all these riffs are totally movable, and all you have to do to make them work on a different chord is start them on the root note of that chord. So if you needed to play any of these three riffs on, say, an E7 chord, we could move the shapes up to where the first note was an E. Now, say I was going to do that with the one starting on the E string at the 3rd fret, I could move it up to the 12th fret. Or maybe, sounds a bit high up there, you probably wouldn't do it that high, but I'm just proving the point. If we wanted to play it on an A chord, we could move it where there's an A on that string. So the E string, we're going to the 5th fret, and that riff would now work on an A chord. And it's exactly the same with the one starting on the A string. So if we wanted to play that as a G chord, say, we'd move it up to where we get a G on the A string, and it's at the 10th fret. Or if we wanted to play it over, say, a B7 chord, we can move it to where we get a B on the A string, which is at the 2nd fret. So if you're playing 12-bar blues chord sequences in a few different keys, you can figure out where to move them to, and you'll be able to use these riffs whenever you want over any key when you're playing a 12-bar blues. Okay, that's about it really for this video. So remember to take those, learn them, experiment, play them over backing tracks, and see if you can come up with a few variations of your own. Now, this is just 2 particular examples. You'll hear dozens and dozens of variations on them, and with a bit of work, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out some of those variations, as well as create some of your own ideas. Now, with a bit of tweaking, these riffs can also be made to work in another musical style, like funk or metal or rock. So maybe have a bit of a play around and see what you can come up with using these riffs as a starting point. So that's about all for this video today. Now, don't forget to get your blues guitar bundle by clicking the link underneath this video. It's got the chart for the 12-bar blues in G, both the riffs tabbed out for you, and a few other performance tips as well, plus loads of other blues material from my other YouTube blues guitar videos. So check that out, click the link underneath the video. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more guitar lessons, tutorials and licks and so forth. And if there's anything you'd like me to do a video on, or you've got a comment about this lesson or a question, leave it underneath, because I do try and respond to every comment that I get on YouTube. But anyway, that's all from me. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you again very soon in one of my videos. So I'll catch you later.